Good morning, everybody. Moka Pot's back out. I didn't go out yesterday. Today I am going to go out to the gym. We'll see if I can stop somewhere to pick up what I wanted to pick up, some of that really dark Italian roasted coffee. I know where I can get it. There's a Carfagna's around the gym area. Well, it's far away from the gym, but nothing's really far when you've lived out in the country all of your life. So I'm going to go out and I'm going to go get some of that today, hopefully. I've got a couple things I want to buy. I've had this really strange craving for, and I don't know why, but there's a really strange craving for like sugar-free Monster. I don't know why. I used to drink Monster cans, probably why I am the way I am right now, health-wise. But I used to drink, you'd get the big ones, and then you get the super big ones that didn't have a pop top. It actually had a lid that unscrewed. And it was like this big, and I'm sure it had 4 servings in it, and it didn't make it through 4 servings. You just sit there and you drink it. And sincerely, it's probably why I am, messed up health-wise as I am right now. So this is the last of the Mustachio, I think. We're going to get about 20, I'm going to put 6 grams in here? We may be able to get, I'll bet there's probably another cup of coffee in that, which is good because I love the Mustachio. Hello, Indy. Mustachio is great. So we're going to put that through this in the same method that we did yesterday. We'll kind of do it step by step again like I did. It's just fascinating and fun. Should I put it in the catch cup? I don't know. We'll just do it this way. All right. Let me just puff some of that out there. All right. I'm going to take it down a step as the burrs decide to argue with me. I don't know. It's really funny how all the noises this thing makes. So we're just going to do a little over the head here. That worked really well. Actually quite happy with that. What I am going to do, I'll just put that, let's use this. Put that in there. We'll use the catch cup for that. I am going to put a wetted little filter under here. Maybe I can create just a little bit more pressure using it. See, it kind of turns translucent, and then it basically sticks. As long as you've got it in the center so that it doesn't interrupt the rubber ring that goes around everything, we should be in good shape. I've got everything heating up over here. Since that's in place, I'm going to fill this up part ways with some of our milk. I thought about the Mustachio because it is probably one of the few flavor coffees that I've got up there that would probably go really good with milk. Now, I say that, and then I remember I have that brambleberry up there. That might also go really well. That might be something that I have to consider in the future as well. If I continue on with this, which I don't know why I wouldn't. It's actually quite fascinating and fun, especially when it's all like new stuff to fiddle with. It's always a good time. All right, so we're going to keep the area here clear. I do want to fill it up halfway here. So halfway with milk here, halfway with water here. In the Instagram post that I saw, for some reason, the person filled this up all the way. I mean, I guess you can monitor the basin here and then turn everything off. Once you kill the heat, it kills the steam fairly quickly enough to where you can monitor and back off if you need to. So maybe more water would be a good idea because it would cost more pressure. Plus, now that I think about it, actually, it might be a good idea to fill this thing up and then monitor the pressure, because you're getting a lot of water to start with, but as it goes down a little further, because it's all coming up this little chimney here and up into this chimney. Once it gets down a little further, you're getting more steam and less water coming up, more bubbles. So it might be a good idea to fill this up a lot more than I had before in order to get more water out, therefore more coffee, therefore more pistachio flavor in the milk, which sounds fantastic. It's getting there. So lawnmowers are out just before it starts to rain. It's supposed to rain in the next hour, I think, but they're out there mowing. Hooray. Go team. Grass has never been greener. I think it's fascinating. We're middle of October, and I think the entirety of the summer, the grass has never been this green. It's actually very lush and pretty, and it's nice. It's a nice way to go out, I guess. You know, maybe it'll stay that way just a little bit longer this time. I think we were droughting last year, so it was starting to go dormant and kind of crisp up a little bit. But now we've got some really nice green going on. Unfortunately for the fall foliage stuff, if you're into that, I think the drought pretty much put the kibosh on the leaves turning in a pretty way. We don't have to go the full. It's gonna heat up over here, so we don't have to go the full. Let's do a little bit more than half this time. There's about half. We won't go all the way up though. Maybe the next iteration, if this works out, we can go all the way up, but I really don't want to go all the way up yet. Okay, we'll put our water, or put our dealio in there. Let's get this so that it's a little bit more balanced, and then we'll start screwing it on. This lid's a little heavy, so it kind of puts it off balance, so it's hard to kind of sit it on here without it kind of wanting to tip over. So there we go. Nice and tight. Down we go. On we flip. And we'll pay a bit of attention to what's going on. Grab my cup. Put my cup over here. Like I said, I was really excited when I thought about it last night. I'm like, I could have gone and gotten some, but at the same time, I just thought, what would be a good coffee? You know, and the pistachio is creamy, and pistachio ice cream is one of my favorite ice creams. Pistachio pudding, even though it's fake as hell, Jello pistachio pudding has always been one of my favorite puddings. So, you know, pistachio and milk as a whole is, oh, and look at the milk is making condensation on the side over here. That's fascinating. So, like I said, we'll monitor, try to keep an eye on it, and we'll do everything we can to make it so it doesn't overflow, because I really don't want to clean up this stove. I've already cleaned the stove up today before we started this. We had chili last night. We've discovered that buying canned beans is kind of meh, so we've instead been buying dried beans. And the dried beans are great, but you have to let them sit out for like 2 days, soaking, before you can put them in anything, unless you want an incredibly al dente bean, which is not a bad thing. Al dente beans, pretty good. Don't mind it as much. But, yeah, they were pretty al dente last night. I should have started soaking them long before he came home, if that's what we were going to do. First chili of the season, though. Turned out really well. Kind of spicy for me. Well, not spicy for me, just spicy, period, because I like spicy stuff. Spicy chili is really good. So, we are maxed out on heat, so we'll see what happens. It's always the best science experiment to do the Moka Pot, I think. All the other stuff is fun, and I enjoy the coffee it makes, but boy, the Moka Pot is just the most... Oh, you know what? I've got that filter on it too, so it may take a little bit longer for everything to push through. But at the same time, There'll be a lot of pressure. So we should maybe get a little bit richer coffee coming out. Maybe a little less foam. That would be the dream. So, and oh, there we go. We're starting. And you can even see it coming out the back with the reflection. Isn't that fun? Now that's a stream of coffee. And a stream of consciousness. Look at that. Actually looks like brains. Now the flow's controlled. It's a little less dramatic, probably because of the filter we put on it. I found yesterday there were no little bits of coffee in the drink itself, so a filter is not really necessary. It actually turned out really well, I think. Oh, and all of the it must have warmed up because all of the condensation on the outside of the brew chamber has dissipated. So. Too cool. Always fun. Always fun. And then this, I mean, you can kind of control how much you want. You could turn it all the way off and it would stop. Or you can just let it go like this and fill up the entire pot, especially since we filled up the bottom water chamber with a good amount of coffee. That's really fun. I don't think we want it to get it up to the chimney. Otherwise, it is going to start having a fit. You don't want it going back down the chimney, I don't think. Let's take it off the heat. Put it over here. I'm going to give it a stir here in just a moment. So I'll just move everything back over here and grab a spoon. It smells nice. The coffee settled on top of the cream, or the milk, not disturbing the milk at all, just kind of dispersing over top of it because the milk's heavier than the coffee water. So we've got this, and it did fill up a good amount. I would say that that's pretty full. I don't know if anyone would agree with me on that or not. The handle's not very hot. Boy, that does immediately start pouring out, though. I gotta be careful with that. There we go, all the way to the bottom. You can kind of see the bottom here. There's the bottom of the pot. There was, and when I cleaned this out, there actually wasn't any coffee grounds in the bottom there. So as it stands, it's a pretty clean cup of coffee. And you can see, whoop. There went me. Smells like a wonderful, oh God, that pistachio. The nice thing about this preparation, oh, sorry, jump cut. I got a phone call for whatever reason. Did not recognize the number. So voicemail you go. And if you don't leave a voicemail, it must not have been important enough anyway. So the number I didn't recognize. Anyway, this brings out a lot of flavor. Like your bold, like hot, like deep coffee flavor. Like if it's a chocolatey, it kind of brings out a lot of chocolate, a lot of bitter as well. With this, I think I tried the Mustachio before, and it did bring out a lot of the pistachio flavor, but it also kind of incorporated a lot of the harsh bitterness that was in the coffee. With this, the milk dumbs down the bitterness, and because it's creamy, the pistachio kind of just is front and center. It's so good. Oh, yeah, that's really nice. That is about what I had hoped it would be. I'm going to take the bottom off, or at least I'm going to try to here, because it is super hot. This handle's not very good for gripping that kind of stuff, I don't think. So anyway, okay, well, that's good. A nice clean removal. I don't think I'm going to be able to get in there to grab that. The one thing I did notice yesterday when I took this apart, there was a lot of particles that kind of, as it bubbled up and came back down, and then bubbled up and came back down as you modulated the heat, it was grabbing grinds and pulling them down back into the chamber, which is not going to affect anything. It's not going to hurt the water because the water is already going up and interacting with the coffee. So coming back down and kind of mingling with itself is not going to hurt anything. It was just an interesting view into what the kind of the whole process really kind of looked like. And I don't really have anything unless I can grab a butter knife. I don't know if a butter knife's going to be thin enough to get under there or not. Usually it's a fingernail. Surprisingly enough, the butter knife's a little bit, yeah, that's hot, very hot. Gotcha, ha-ha. You can kind of see in there, can't you? You can smell it. But yeah, there's a lot of fine grinds that kind of came back down into from the coffee chamber. Because it's, you know, the water's got to get up in there, so it's going to grab some stuff and it's going to pull it back down into the brew chamber. It's just fascinating and a lot of fun to kind of look at and play with. I mean, the one of the coolest, you know, it's kind of funny that the only time I ever discovered a Moka Pot was watching people use them on YouTube. You know, it seems like this is an old technology that science teachers should be all over when they're talking about steam delivery and, you know, that kind of a thing at a younger age, maybe like in 6th, 7th, 8th grade, you know, when you're going into science and you're like, steam energy works like this, you know, and you just put a Moka Pot out there, you open up the top and it's like, look, the steam's, everything's happening. It's going up through here. It's getting up in the coffee. The coffee is mingling with the water, and then a secondary tube here at the top is delivering the coffee up and into here, relatively debris-free, and then depositing it into something that I can pour it out in. So it's just basically a little steam engine. That's fascinating, you know. Easy science. And fun to watch because it's like a little, you can teach volcano stuff too. I mean, this is very volcano, I would say, right? You know, all the steam and everything happening down here, churning up all the lava, boom, up, boom, out. You know, I mean, yeah, and explosives because it hisses and boils, and since there's enough holes and there's not a lot of pressure, you know, you get all these little hisses and spits and bubbles and whatnot. So it's kind of what's happening in a volcano, except that there's a lot more pressure happening and a lot smaller holes that it's trying to get through. So that's why you get your explosions. It's just fascinating and fun. And this is delicious. The whole concept of putting cream in the chamber and then letting the coffee get on top of it and allowing the milk to heat up is fantastic. What a fun little thing to do. It's so exciting. It's so exciting to find new stuff. And not only new stuff, but new stuff you can do with the stuff you already have is like really cool. I would, if you get a chance and have one of these, try that out with any old coffee, even if it's just pre-ground Folgers. If you put milk in there, it's going to brighten that shit up like crazy, I think. If you got good milk or you got good half and half, or I would assume you could put flavored half and half in there with your coffee and it would do the exact same thing. I don't think there would be any reason to not do that. Non-dairy or soy or almond or, you know, peanut. Is there peanut milk? I don't know. Probably should be. You know, it's just something that you can do. It seems like with any kind, it doesn't have to be milk. You know, it can be just about anything to brighten up the coffee experience. Cool. Thank you for watching today. I really appreciate it. Like I said, I'm going out today. I'll do my best to go get some of that really bold and rich because you need to see how dark this stuff gets. This is medium. These are all mediums. Those Italian French roast coffees are like, they're like burnt to hell, you know? So when they come out, you get a lot more foam along with an incredibly dark and rich looking coffee. So I'll have to try to get one of those, and we will see what we can do. But I'm going to the gym today, so it's not on the way, but it's close enough by to where I can go ahead and get something like that. Plus, like I said, for some reason I'm just craving a sugar-free Monster. The sugar-free Monster tastes as good as regular Monster because it's all the chemicals that you're getting. Whatever artificial sweetener they shove in there is not going to have as much of a chemical aftertaste as the rest of the Monster Energy drink tastes. So when you get a sugar-free one, it's pretty close, if not almost identical to the regular Monster. So for some reason, I was really into those at one point, which again has contributed to this. We'll talk to you tomorrow. I hope you have a wonderful day. See ya. Bye.